Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We are back with everyone's favorite powder ganger, Tater Keg, as he patrols the waste trying to make it a better place. For himself.
We head back to Good Springs so we can sell off some of the spoils after the NCR attack on the correctional facility. But now it's time to spice things up just a little bit, because we do have a solid secondary weapon, but what we need is a solid primary weapon. But before we get that, I need to stop by Nipton. I found some wannabe criminals hanging outside their base. After taking them out, I was concerned of the good karma I just got from that. Found a couple of Viper gang members hiding behind some honey mesquite, killed him and his leader, got the drugs and pre-war money out of the cop car, went inside and cleared out the rest of the Vipers, slowly crawled my claustrophobic ass over to the cell, found some more drugs, and unleashed my inner Stan Beals, and stomped on all of the mantises in the area. Kung Fu Panda ain't got shit on me. Now leaving the outpost more badass than when I entered, I went up to the southwest to get some extra XP off of the ghouls hanging out there. Went a little further up to take out some rad scorpions, almost died, found the high ground, found the Wasteland Survival Guide, and I also found a Pugilism Illustrated.
Now before we continue, I want to mention a small little subplot for this challenge. While doing the Powder Ganger challenge, I'm also going to be doing every in-game challenge that I'm capable of doing within the parameters of the current challenge. With challenges such as Lord Death, Tough Guy, etc. I'm going to be getting all of those done before we beat the game. So with that being said, let's get to the fun.
God damn, 604? Jesus, thank you. Oh, fuck. I really did it to you, huh? After that tussle was all said and done, and after damn near becoming addicted to every chem known to man, I leveled up, found a duck and cover magazine that I never knew about, and I was pleasantly surprised that the traveling merchants don't attack me on sight. I'd say anyone that's willing to sell to me is worth keeping alive. For now. I didn't feel like I was quite powerful enough yet, so I went up east to take out some ants for some more easy XP. Took out some Viper gangers up the road, got ambushed by a bitch that attacked me out of nowhere, and made him regret that. I gotta ask you guys, do you think that the crows in this game are also synths from the Institute like they are in Fallout 4? Just something to think about. I ended up finding my old pal Oliver Swanwick. Or is it Swank? Swanwick? I'm gonna go with Swanwick. Witnessed a horrific sight in the process, and then met the guy who was responsible for it. Surprisingly, he wasn't hostile towards me either, as I thought he would be, especially with the fact that he crucified a bunch of my brothers. I hit the best 360 no-scope of my life, went ahead and looted up the houses in town, leveled up, and picked the strong back perk to make claustrophobia less annoying. I used a corpse to set off a trap, fell for another trap while being mesmerized by a frag mine, shot some of the Legion's good boys, found a big book of science, took a quick chicken tendy break, hit a sick quickscope, and met up with my old friend Boxcars. I gave him enough medics to put a fella out of his misery, and in return, he gave me a mission, to go find the last surviving powder gangers after the Legion attack. I took out some Vipers hiding northeast up the road. I found myself up by the hidden supply cave. And for once I was actually able to enter it because normally I don't have a high enough lockpick skill to get in this early. Turned out the place was actually useless. I ended up shooting a coyote and blew up their mom because I fucking hate coyotes, and I stumbled my way into Prim Pass. Now for some reason with all my recent playthroughs, I've always managed to wind up in Prim Pass, even though I don't mean to, but because I'm gangster as fuck, I take the Deathclaw head on. Doesn't work out the first try, but that's not gonna stop me from trying. Working to cripple its legs, I knew what time it was, and since there's a challenge for killing Deathclaws with dynamite, that made this even better. Now I wouldn't have called this an easy task, by any means. Just a long one. Even for being a blind Deathclaw, the little bastard had heart. But after enough dynamite to violate the Geneva Convention, I became probably the first powder ganger to ever kill a Deathclaw. I wound up finding Harper's shack and found out that there wasn't just one Deathclaw. I died. I thought they decided to leave me alone after the first death. I was wrong, but somehow managed to sneak away mostly unscathed. So because of that, I took my cowardly rage out on some Vipers. There's only room for one gang out in the Mojave after all. I managed to run into even more Deathclaws. I'm like a magnet to these things. I played a real life game of whack-a-mole and finally made it to the Legion camp. So at this point, I'm not enemy with the Legion. Yet. So they're currently and surprisingly not attacking me on sight. So to avoid having Legion assassins coming after me and making my life much harder, I gotta find a way to free my fellow inmates without being detected. My first idea was seeing if I could kill them both fast enough without the other one noticing. First time didn't work. Second attempt was about the same. My second plan was to put dynamite in their pants instead, see if they would die and the other legionary wouldn't take notice. That didn't only not work, but it also killed the captives as well. The fourth option I got is to use my charm and intelligence. By seducing one of the legionaries so hard he gets stuck in a trance and faces the other way. Then by using perfect placement, by putting the somehow standing and free powder ganger right in the side of the other legionnaire, I was able to free the first captive, and then hide myself with his body to free the second one next, completing the quest. I leveled up once again and continued my journey up to Novak. I saw another synth on the road, went ahead and collected Chopper, even though I don't think I'll use it. I ended up making a full circle all the way back to Nipton. I met up with some bighorners for some easy experience, and enough meat to last me through the rest of the playthrough. Probably. And made sure my reading glasses were in perfect condition. The ambushers became the ambushees, and I snorted another line of ant nectar just to be on the safe side. Even with a crippled arm, I am still loyal to the mission. I sold some of my stuff off to a traveling merchant, watched him absolutely smoke a Legion ambush, and stumbled up to Ranger Station Charlie. My stealth attack failed, and now I have a whole ass assault on my hands. I killed the first ranger, snuck inside, buckshot at the ready, and blasted him back to Shady Sands, or what's left of it. Womp womp. I got stupid. I got a good amount of extra healing supplies with a little bit of radiation poisoning and continued on my quest. I finally made it to Novak where, again, surprisingly, no one is hostile towards me. So I went to a doctor for the first time since Good Springs, sold some stuff off to her, and finally got myself my own apartment. Remember those days when apartments only cost you 100 caps? Good times. I took the bill of sale, even though I'm sure it won't do me any good. Did myself a little decorating with some trophies I collected, sold some stuff off with my newly required discount, and wound up talking to Manny Vargas, who I was actually surprised he was willing to talk to me, for obvious reasons. I asked if he had any information on the man who shot me, but he was pretty tight-lipped about it. He wanted me to do something for him, not really something I'm used to doing, but I figured it might get me some more loot and XP, so I went along with it. He wanted me to deal with some ghouls up at the rep contest facility. Take out some ghouls? Child's play. Before I left town, I need to get myself a DC journal. Oops. I sold some more stuff to the traveling merchant, and now I have one more thing to do before going to the rep contesting facility. The whole reason I came to Novak in the first place. The Rat Slayer. I made my way up to Brockflower Cave, and got way too invested into hitting this bloatfly from way too far away. I did hit him though, but just ignore all the other attempts. Those didn't count. And finally made my way deep into the cave. I got ambushed while trying to snipe one. Then all his friends showed up to give me the Ratdussy. So I put on my gamer shades and got to work. Finally clearing out the horny menaces and finally found the Rat Slayer. Tater Keg now has a full arsenal. There's nothing that's gonna stop him or get in his way. Next stop, the rep contest site. Also, I leveled up again. See you next time.
If you're an enemy of the NCR, you're an enemy of mine. Get out of my sight.
Shouldn't have said that, Mr. Boone. Can I, get behind you? Oh no. I'll take that beret. Might as well take a couple thumbnail shots. You never know. You never know. But prop him up on the door too for good measure. Something like that. Yeah. Hold yourself up with the gun. Yeah, something like that. Wonderful.